What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. My name is Anthony Jenkins. I am a parent of a child actor, and I'm also an actor myself. I'm here today. I want to give you guys 5 suggestions to get your kids started with acting. I want to just share a little bit about my journey, about our process and our journey, and how our whole experience with just getting started in this thing. And then when I say a few, I mean about 5 suggestions I'm gonna give you today. So first thing you might be asking is, who am I? Who am I? Well, I'm the parent of Anthony B. Jenkins. My son, he's been in the industry a few years now. He's been featured on a few shows such as David Makes Man, that's been on OWN, Big Leap, that's been on Fox, Chicago Med, that's on NBC, Roswell, New Mexico from the CW, and The Wonder Years on ABC.
I was gonna give it back, but I just wanted to bring it to school for show and tell. Nobody likes the doctor. Everyone loves football. I want to be a football player. Ow.
Oh, I'm sorry. How long has it been hurting like that?
Couple days. I'm going back inside, aren't I? What if I forget?
And most recently, he just finished a phenomenal film titled The Deliverance, which was directed by the amazing Lee Daniels. It stars the awesome Andra Day, Monique, Caleb McLaughlin, Glenn Close, Demi Singleton, Ajanou Ellis. Guys, the cast is out of this world. You feeling me? This movie, it was just such a privilege and honor to just kind of watch the whole thing happen and just be, my son was right there. He's starring alongside this phenomenal cast, this stellar cast, and it'll be out next year in 2023. Y'all stay tuned for that, because you're definitely not gonna want to miss it. I also have been an actor. You might say, hey, who's following whose footsteps here? I was in David Makes Man as well on OWN. I also was in Chicago PD, which is a story in itself, with my son being on Chicago Med. I'll say that for another time. And I was also featured on Wonder Years.
Burnside probably needs more people like you. Dreamers.
If y'all make enough noise, maybe we can convince Mr. Bill Williams to come and join us for a number.
Come on, Shella.
Come on, Shella, nothing. Rent was due 2 days ago.
All right, Shella, dang, I got you.
But, I just want to share some tips, some things that have been beneficial to our journey. First thing, let me tell you this. This is not a know-it-all blog, but merely some suggestions that work for us. There's no clear-cut one way into the industry. What it does take and what it will take is commitment, dedication, and a lot of sacrifice from you, from your family. It's an all-in thing. The first thing you need to do is find your why. Your why. You don't want it to be because I want to be famous or because I want my kid to be on TV. I want to make a lot of money. I want my kid to make money. Those cannot be your reasons. Those cannot be your goal of success. That cannot equal success for you. You got to find what equals success for you. Let success be about your journey and let it be about your experience. Okay? Enjoy all the wins along the way. This process, what helped us to get to this point was we found the joy in the journey. We found the joy in just, all right, this is your first headshot. We got our first headshot in. We got our first audition. We just created our first casting network page. We created an Actors Access page. I've been doing this a month and I haven't quit yet. Whatever those are, you got to find those wins, man. You got to find those wins. Maybe it could be your first callback, your first good headshot. Hey, listen, I was one of those parents. I was my kid's first photographer, and I took those pictures. Yes, I did have a consumer camera, but I wasn't a professional photographer. I took those pictures of my son up against a blank wall with some light behind me, took the picture, sent some stuff in, boom. I got an audition from that kind of stuff. You can do that too. Maybe not, but I just want you to know that anything is possible for you to get in, as long as you are putting forth good effort. You know what I mean? Anything in life, when you put something into it, you'll get something back. And so it turned out I ended up starting a business. I ended up starting a photography business and a videography business from the interest that I put in with my kids, both my kids, Anthony and Skyland. The interest that they had in this industry, it sparked something inside of me. And now I am a professional photographer. I've turned into that now. That might not be your story, but it was the story for me. You know, you could become a professional acting coach. You could become, you know, a momager or a dadager, someone who goes on set with kids and help other parents out when parents can't make it to set or something. You never know what can come out of you putting 100% into something. So I do consulting with clients or with parents and kids that are interested in acting, and I do their headshots. I get their headshots done. And they're professional. They're amazing. I'm gonna throw a few up while I'm talking right here. You see this? This is some good stuff. This is some good stuff right here. And that's just a little bit about myself and my little plug in there. Y'all see what that is. You see where I'm going. So enjoy those little wins along the way. All right, and find meaning in why you want to do this. Find meaning in why you want to do it. That's the first suggestion. My first suggestion and first tip. The second tip is take classes, because how can you act if you don't know how to act? How can you be in the industry if you don't know proper etiquette of the industry? You know what I mean? You want to get in some classes, and if you have a small little kid, you want to see, you know, if this is even something that they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, are they shy when they talk to strangers who they've never met before? Will they smile if someone puts a camera in front of their face and say cheese, or will they feel like it's weird? You know, I've experienced kids where, you know, I'm like, all right, we're gonna take a picture, and it's like the oddest, weirdest, most uncomfortable thing for them, you know, and I can tell immediately, like, oh, okay, this kid has never really had a camera in front of them, especially it being held by a stranger. Because look, you can go through this whole, you can skip all of these steps I'm telling you and get yourself signed to an agency, and then your kid walks into a room where a casting director is, where they got 2 or 3 lights, a camera, and 4 different people sitting behind the table looking at their kid and telling them, all right, this is what we want you to do. And that kid looks at them like, no, thanks. This is not for me. I do not, mommy, who are these people? You know, why do you have me in this room? You know, and no, parent, you can't go in the room with the kid. So you got to find if this is something that the kid wants to do. One of those great ways to figure that out is to put them in some type of acting class. You know, probably if they're under 5 years old, under 6, 7, maybe even mostly sometimes 8 years old, if they're under that, you probably won't be able to find a class for them, because at that age, you really just want to practice, like, hey, can you look sad? Can you do this? A lot of improvisation that you want to kind of practice with the kid. You know, like, hey, give me a scary face. Hey, give me some happy vibes. You know, like, how would you say this if you were excited? You know, give me this kind of look or that kind of look. You know what I mean? That's kind of like where you want to be with those younger kids. But if you're older, 8 years old and over, you want to get those kids in class. You want to see if this is something that they even want to do. I mean, and the classes will help you get to that. And then they'll give nuggets here and there. Not all classes are great, but it's up to you to kind of filter that out and find that out for your kid. If your kid is turning into a robot, probably want to take them out of that class. If your kid is feeling a lot more energized and they feel a lot more free to explore and to try different things, that might be a nice class for you. So even just to go back a little bit for those that are under 8 years old, under 7 years old, what the industry is looking for, they're looking for your kid to be able to take direction. So like I said, that improvisation, that skill, being able to follow direction, give me this kind of look, give me this kind of, say it this way. How do you feel when you're excited, when you're sad, you're upset? You know, that's what's really important for those kids. The next thing, like I said, I took some pictures of my kid. You want to take some pictures of your kid. You know, it doesn't always, listen, in the beginning, if, like I said, you like a 5-year-old kid, I'm not paying $250, $300 for no professional headshots. That's just me. Maybe for you, that might be for you, but not for me. That's not what I did. I did not take and spend $250 on a child that's 5 years old that have not made a dime. That's not what I'm going to do. I just felt that reckless for my spending. Maybe if you have that kind of funds, go ahead and spend it. There's nothing. But to me, no. I took some pictures myself of my child to get them into, all right, I'm going to take pictures with somebody. You know what I mean? And that's how we did that. And then once your kid is getting older and they're beginning to see some results or do some things, and maybe, you know, they've made a few dollars. All right, now that money I'm investing back into you. That money I'm going to pay $200, $350, $400 for some headshots. I'm going to pay some money to style your hair or whatever the case is if you have a daughter. And now let me say this. Now, if you're going to spend that money, what you don't want to do, you don't want to spend it on this big promise scheme where it's like, hey, pay us $4,000. We'll get your kid on the runway in front of Netflix and we'll get them on a movie theater. Listen, there's no absolutes. There are no absolutes. You spend $4,000 on somebody to put you in something like that, and then they put you on a runway. They pay for your headshots. They pay for all these different things, pay for your class, and you come out with just being $4,000 less and with some glamour shots that it look like it came from Sears or something. Listen, that's not what you want to do. If you're going to spend $4,000, go ahead and spend it on a photographer. Go ahead and spend it on your own. Find it yourself. Go ahead and find you a photographer, a headshot photographer, and invest that money there. Invest that money into acting classes. Invest that money into, back into the kid. Invest it in the acting profiles or whatever the case is, which is what I'm going to get to next. That's when I want to spend that kind of money on there. But you want to get the kids taking some pictures. You want to get some pictures of them because the next step is very, very crucial to them taking those pictures. Once you take those pictures, you have to create a profile on these acting sites for your child. The two most popular ones, casting networks, Actors Access. You want to create a profile on castingnetworks.com and actorsaccess.com again. All right, I said that to you, gave it to you twice. You want to create a free profile. You create a free profile, or you can even pay for one. There's a small fee to run those sites, but once you get your child created in that site, you give them their profile, you upload some of the pictures that you've taken, and you self-submit your kid to some of the projects that you see out there. Self-submitting, it's easy, guys. It's like creating a Facebook page, but it's just your kid. This could be weird, but if you feel like it's weird, maybe this ain't the industry for you, because it is a lot of putting yourself out there. It's a lot of doing things unorthodox. It's a lot of doing things that other people are not going to understand. You want to be sure, you want to be confident in this walk, and just really enjoy the journey. The fifth suggestion I have for you is to take more classes. You hear me? Listen, you want to stay in class. You want to keep learning, keep experiencing. Now, let me insert this asterisk right here. If you're an adult, you want to keep sharpening your skills. If you're an older child, you want to sharpen your skills. Now, as a kid, I don't necessarily I didn't keep my kid in class all of the time because I didn't want him to pick up anything from any bad habits from other kids or anything like that. Now, you know your child. You know if it's a natural thing that they got going on, you probably don't want to disrupt that too much. So what I would suggest in place of that, instead of group classes, I would suggest individual classes, private classes. You know what I mean? One-on-one with you and just the teacher. It's probably more expensive to do it that way, but I can promise you it is totally worth it. You know what I mean? But you know your kid. If your kid is probably a little shy, you want to work on their interaction with other kids, the group class is for you. But if you feel like your kid kind of got the interaction with other kids and you feel and you know that there's a natural ability, which was in our case. Now, I'm just saying, this is what worked for us. This is what worked for us. Again, I knew that was the case with my son. So I opted out of group classes for him and was like, no, we're going to do probably more one-on-one situations for you. Maybe you get an audition. I'm gonna have a coach privately meet with you via Zoom or something and get you into that. So look, guys, this is just a few 5 suggestions that's just coming from my heart, coming from off the dome, just for you guys. I hope y'all got something out of this thing, what I've been sharing with y'all. These are just a few 5 tips, like I said. If you want to connect more with me, I do consultations. My email, you can connect with me at anthony@greaterentertainment.org. That is my business. That's my consulting business, my headshot photography, videography business, where I do headshots, I do self-tapes, I do reels, I do all that kind of stuff. I just want to pin that out there for y'all in case you want some more information, in case you want to connect further. You can also connect with me on my Instagram. It is Anthony Jenkins. I'm putting it right here on the screen. You see that, Anthony Jenkins. You can catch me. Listen, until next time, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We will see y'all on the next vlog. Peace.